success and prosperity in their lives. I'd now like to call upon my dear brother Gopi to pass on the vote of thanks to the Indian volunteers who I may have missed. This brother has been working very closely with me. He's been recipients of some very loving messages from me and some very difficult conversations we've had. But with each of that, we've communicated very openly and we've had a grand time. We didn't know each other until 2-3 months ago. So we knew each other briefly, but we haven't worked with each other before. So Brother Gopi.
Thank you, Shivendra. At last, I got to the mic. I don't know how I get to do these things, normally, It was one bright Sunday morning. I was happily relaxing in my home. And my All India President calls me and says, Gopi, you'll have to work very closely with Shivendra in the Satyasai World Youth Festival. I told him I was not in the 16 to 35, 40 slot. I'm well above it. He says, no problem, work with him. I knew I was getting into trouble. The other name of trouble is Shivendra. But let me tell you, brother, I once asked Swami when we were in the interview room. In fact, Swami asked this question. He said, what is the best reward? What is the best reward one could get from God when you do some good work? We responded with some stupid answers, as we normally do. And finally, Swami said, the best reward that God could give you when you do good work, and he said, when God could give you when you do good work, is giving you yet an opportunity to serve. So that is how it started. 2 months, hundreds of calls, midnight calls. Shivendra, in fact, Shivendra, Dawn and Jay Sai are a part of my family now. If I don't get a call any day, my wife or my children ask me, didn't Jay Sai call you? Didn't Dawn call you? What happened to Shivendra? Is he not at home? Is he working somewhere? This is the kind of interactions we had. And on behalf of all those present here, I would like to thank my Indian team, the Indian team which is very closely associated with this work, as you have had a good team here. We had a bunch of very strong young adults in India who supported. I do not know if they are here, Malini, Nisha, Bipasa, Gunjan, Rajshekhar, Rajendra, Satyasai Chaitanya, Vipin, Shilpa, Brijesh, Vijay Krishna, and my entire National Youth Council team. They all put their heart and soul to make this program happen. We also want to place on record the wonderful support that our two leaders, the international leader Dr. Reddy and Sri Nimish Pandya had given to make this happen. This program could not have happened if they had not given us a free hand to work. I also want to thank Harshit Patel uncle, Anupam Ganguly sir, and also Sri Hedje Dora uncle, who's always been asking us, what's happening? Do you want my support? Is there anything that I need to do? See, that is the kind of support that we got from the Indian seniors also. Well, the most important thing is, I just want to share a small story and then end it. I got this morning and I thought I should definitely share this with you. I think this must have been doing a lot of rounds on the WhatsApp, but I still want to do another round here. This is about a businessman who was getting late to his flight. He reached the boarding gate just before it closed. He was sweating and breathing. He got into the flight. Arriving at the seat, he found that there was a small young girl, about 8 years old, sitting in an aisle seat and an elderly woman on the other side on the window seat. He got into the middle seat and the flight took off. And this young child, who was about 8 years old, was happily drawing and playing all alone. He was wondering, why is this girl traveling alone, all alone? So midway, actually there was a turbulent weather. There was a lot of trouble. There were announcements in the cabin saying that we're running through a rough time in the mid-air, and everybody was in panic on the flight. But this young girl was happily drawing, and finally the turbulence ended and the flight landed at the destination. And at that point of time, this gentleman, this businessman was so inquisitive. He said, "You're a very brave girl. You're a very brave girl. Everybody in this flight was actually in turmoil. They were actually anticipating some problem to happen, something to happen and something, but you were actually very happy, joyful, sitting there, drawing all the time. What gave you that courage?" was a question the businessman asked. And she said, "My father is the pilot of this flight and he's taking me home." Brothers and sisters, the pilot of the Satyasai World Youth Festival is our Lord who is sitting there. We all did nothing, He is the doer. We were only instrument in His divine hands, that He gave us an opportunity, a part to play in the divine mission and a divine role. When we knew that the Satyasai World Youth Festival was announced, in fact I'm sure Brother Shivendra would agree with me, when we got into the logistics of getting things to be done, the moment the Satyasai World Youth Festival was announced, we knew the pilot has taken it over and it will be a wonderful, wonderful festival. Happy Satyasai World Youth Festival 2016. Thank you very much. Jai Sai Ram.